Mind Cells is an amazing Minecraft mod that will add content from the video game Dead Cells to Minecraft. This mod will let you dive into a new adventure in 5 different dungeons in special dimensions with 2 strong bosses. The mod adds many new mobs, weapons and blocks. As it has just received a massive update overhauling the mod, this is the perfect time for a showcase. So let's dive in. So how do we get started? First of all, you need to find a portal structure in the overworld. In this structure, you can find a chest with a doorway item. You need to place this item on an empty 3x3 wall with a floor underneath, and the portal will let you choose which dimension you want to enter, and if everyone should be able to access it, or just you. First, all the dimensions but one will be locked, and you can unlock each dimension in the overworld doorway by entering the dimension's corresponding doorway in the previous dungeon of the progression. The portal owner can reconfigure it at any time by right-clicking. If you're playing on a multiplayer server, don't worry about other players clearing the dimensions before you, because each player enters a separate dimension, although you can always be joined by friends if you want to. The first dimension you can enter is the prisoner quarters. Criminals and infected people who showed symptoms of any mutation or disease were thrown into this building, some of which are still dwelling around there to this day. To clear the structure, you need to fight your way through it. You need to descend multiple levels and fight a variety of mobs. These mobs will spawn from spawner runes that reset after a cooldown. You are unable to cheat your way down because unbreakable hardstone blocks will block the way between the floors. At first, you will encounter leaping zombies. These creatures will charge for a short moment and leap at you afterwards, dealing low melee damage. They are pretty weak, deal 4 to 6 damage and only have 20 HP. They can drop infected flesh, guts, monster eyes and monster cells, which are the base material for most crafting recipes. You will also encounter shield bearers, which have 20 HP and deal 6 damage. These mobs will block your frontal assaults with their shield, but they will not deal regular melee damage. Instead, they will occasionally charge and then push forward to hit you with their shield. Afterwards, they will be unable to move for a short moment, creating an opening for you to attack. They can drop monster cells. As you move through the dungeon, you will also have to fight undead archers, which are basically skeletons, but stronger than normal skeletons. They have 20 HP and deal 2 damage. They can drop infected flesh, guts and monster cells. They are also grenadiers. These monsters will shoot cubes at you that will explode after a short moment, dealing up to 10 damage to you. So they are basically an artillery unit with 20 HP. They can drop explosive bulbs and monster cells. The dimension is made up of prison stone, and there are lots of decoration blocks like crates, barrels, cages, chain piles, flagpoles, prison torches, broken cages, rotting corpses, alchemical vials and equipment, and all kinds of cool flags. These flags can be hung from a ceiling, wall, or be horizontally placed on the side of a fence. You can toggle their waving animation by right-clicking. You need to fight your way to the lowest level until you finally arrive at the next doorway for the Promenade of the Condemned. As you enter this dimension, you will realize that you have a whole forest in front of you. In every dimension, except for the prison, you have a portal to the overworld at the beginning to return quickly. In this place, enemies will attack you from all sides out in the open. The Promenade of the Condemned might seem like an endless dimension, but it is not. You can walk along a path or explore the forest, which is filled with buildings with hostile mobs and chests. You need to watch out for spikes as you are exploring, because they will damage you and give you the bleeding effect, which is similar to the withering effect. The buildings will sometimes contain elevators to lower levels. You can hop on them and right-click them to descend or ascend. You can also encounter multiple new mobs in this dimension. The runner is a really fast melee fighter that will use its blade arms to damage you. It is stronger than the mobs we know from the prisoner quarters, can teleport to you if you are far away, has 25 HP and deals 8 damage. It can drop monster cells, guts, meta shards and transposition cores. The protector usually spawns in cages and is a stationary opponent. It won't attack you directly. However, the mob will use spells on other hostile mobs that will make them invulnerable for a certain period of time. So you are unable to attack them, making it more difficult to fight. As the protector regularly uses its ability, it is helpful to take the mob out before fighting the other mobs. It has 15 HP and can drop monster cells and arcane goo. Mutated bats are airborne melee fighters that deal 6 damage and have 4 HP. Sometimes they also charge at you, dealing more damage. They can drop monster cells. In this dimension, you can also find the King's statue, which looks really cool. You can right-click it to change the pose of the statue. There are also new types of flags. Putrid boards are new flat blocks that can be right-clicked with an X to change their shape. You will regularly see arrow signs with icons on them. Following the sign with the vine rune on it will lead you to a chamber below the surface. You can right-click a mysterious obelisk there. This will summon an elite enemy, which is basically a normal mob that has enhanced stats and is therefore more difficult to defeat. Killing this mob will give you a vine rune. Right-clicking with this item on a designated block will create a vine that you can climb. After that, you can follow the signs with the doorway on them. As you arrive at your destination in the dimension, you need the vine rune to enter a large tower and right-click the moving plant shown here with the item to unlock the structure. On the first floor, you will find an unbreakable cell crafter. This block lets you craft special weapons and tools that you can also find in the dimensions. However, to unlock all of the recipes, you need to fulfill certain tasks, like defeating a boss. I will explain the weapons and tools later. Next, you can simply enter the elevator, and at the top floor, you will find a doorway to the Ramparts. This series of walls and towers was a resting spot for guards, once they couldn't handle the overfilled prisons anymore. The Ramparts are full of dangerous monsters, and if you fall down from the towers, you will be teleported up again, but you will receive damage. There are multiple new mobs that you can encounter here. First, there's the Buzz Cutter, which is a flying creature that will use its fang to damage you. It is not really strong, but can be annoying. It has 10 HP, deals 6 damage, and can drop monster cells and its fang. The Inquisitors will shoot magic projectiles at you from a distance, have 25 HP and deal 4 damage. They can drop monster cells, guts, infected flesh, and arcane goo. The Sweeper is a creature that will try to keep its distance from you by rolling back. It can launch a wave of fire towards you, making it really dangerous without fire protection. With fire protection, it is fairly weak. It has 24 HP and can drop molten chunks. You need to fight your way through the different towers, and you can explore each one of them if you want to. But it is not necessary. You can also simply rush to the last tower, encounter an increasing amount of opponents, enter the elevator at the final tower, and arrive at the doorway to the next stage, the Black Bridge, with the first real boss of the mod. The Black Bridge is a place guarded by a mysterious mutated monster, similar to everything else in these cursed dungeons. This monster, the Concierge, will immediately start attacking you by launching waves of fire towards you. It will also use melee attacks and sometimes release spores around itself that will damage anything in a close radius. Sometimes the boss will even charge towards you, indicated by the red line just before it starts moving. The boss has 300 HP, deals 6 to 10 damage, and is pretty slow at the beginning, so by moving quick and dodging attacks, you can fight it. However, its speed increases with each phase, indicated by it roaring. Upon death, the boss drops valuable loot, including the boss stem cell, useful for crafting some of the strongest weapons of the mod. The last dimension is the Insufferable Crypt, which at the moment will be unlocked by obtaining the Vine Rune. In later updates, there will be actual dungeons leading to it. This used to be a storage room repurposed to hold a creature that appeared out of sewers and began to grow uncontrollably. It is suspected that the creature feeds on human flesh. The Conjunctivius has multiple types of attacks. When its eye is purple, it can use its 2 basic attacks. It either releases spores all around it, damaging any nearby entity, or it summons 2 tentacles and 2 additional tentacles for each player present in the arena from the ground that will attack you. You need to destroy these tentacles to continue fighting the boss, because it will be invulnerable during that time. The tentacles drop sewer calamari, which can be cooked and eaten. When its eye turns orange, it will try to charge at you, dealing a lot of damage. As you keep on damaging the boss, it will eventually also start shooting green lasers at you, which is indicated by its eye turning green. To fight this boss effectively, use a bow and a strong melee weapon. Bows will only deal 50% of the normal damage, so you can shoot it, but when it lunges towards you, hit it with your sword for more damage. The boss has 400 HP, deals 8 to 16 damage, and its attack speed will also increase with time, indicated by the eye shake and roar. The boss drops valuable loot, including the boss stem cell upon death. Let's move on to weapons. The cell crafter I mentioned previously can be used to craft many new powerful weapons with special abilities, some of which can also be found in chests in the dungeons you explored. The Assassin's Dagger deals 5 damage, has 1.9 attack speed, and deals 4 additional critical damage when hitting enemies in the back. The Bloodsword deals 7 attack damage and has 1.6 attack speed. It applies bleeding to enemies which can stack up to level 3. It can be crafted with cell-infused steel, made of monster cells and blood bottles, that you can obtain by right-clicking with an empty bottle on bloody spikes. The Broadsword deals 10 attack damage with 1.1 attack speed. The Balanced Blade deals 5 attack damage, has 1.6 attack speed, and it deals 0.75 additional damage with each consecutive hit, with a maximum of 10 stacks. The stacks get reset if you get hit. The Crowbar deals 6 attack damage, has 1.6 attack speed, and deals 4 additional damage after breaking a door. The Nutcracker deals 8 damage, has 1 attack speed, and deals 6 additional damage to frozen and stunned opponents. Hattori's Katana deals 7 attack damage, has 1.8 attack speed, and can slash through enemies in front of you, dealing 20 damage with a 10-second cooldown. The Frost Blast can be charged for a short moment and then freeze enemies in front of you, dealing 2 damage. The Spite Sword deals 7 attack damage, has 1.5 attack speed, and deals 2 additional damage if you have recently taken damage. The Phaser can be crafted with a transposition core and lets you teleport to a nearby enemy, briefly stunning it and dealing 4 damage. The next attack will deal 4 additional damage. The Multiple Nox Bow shoots 3 arrows at once, dealing 5 damage. The Bow and Endless Quiver doesn't require arrows to shoot it and deals 5 damage. The Marksman Bow deals 5 damage and deals 11 additional damage to targets 24 blocks or farther away. The Infantry Bow deals 6 damage and 6 additional damage to targets in a 10 blocks or closer range. The Quick Bow deals 5 damage and shoots arrows continuously with a draw time of 0.3 seconds. The Ice Bow freezes targets, dealing 4 damage. It requires ice arrows. Nerves of Steel deals 5 damage, but additional 9 damage if you fire at the moment the ping sound is played, which you can hear if you have sounds turned on. The Explosive Crossbow requires explosive bulbs as ammunition, and its bolts will explode upon impact. The Electric Whip electrifies enemies in front of you, dealing 7 damage. It requires arcane goo to be crafted. The Lightning Bolt lets you turn into Emperor Palpatine, dealing damage over time while right-clicking. Using it for too long will damage the user too increasingly, which is indicated by the lightning turning yellow and then red. The Throwing Knife deals 4 damage and applies bleeding. This effect can stack up to level 7, when it will deal 8 additional damage at once. Firebrands can be thrown, deal 4 damage, and set targets on fire. The Cudgel is one of many new types of shields. If you right-click with these new shield-like tools, right at the moment the opponent attacks, you can parry the damage and deal 6 damage to the opponent. This applies to all of the new shields. The Cudgel additionally stuns the enemy when parrying. Blocking reduces 25% of the incoming damage. The Rampart is a shield that can block incoming damage by 80%. Parrying with this shield will make you invulnerable for a short time. The Assault Shield lets you charge forward when blocking, which also reduces incoming damage by 60%. The Bloodthirsty Shield applies bleeding to nearby enemies when parrying, and it blocks 50% of the incoming damage. The Greed Shield blocks incoming damage by 50% as well, and parrying melee attacks has a chance to drop loot. The Ice Shield also blocks incoming damage by 50%, and parrying slows blocked enemies and freezes parried ones. There are also 4 strong weapons that can only be crafted with the boss stem cell. The Heavy Crossbow loads up to 3 arrows and then shoots a bunch of arrows at once to deal heavy short-range damage. The Flint deals 8 damage, has 1 attack speed, and can send a fire shockwave in front of you, dealing 8 damage as well, and it can be crafted with molten chunks. The Cursed Sword has 25 attack damage and 1 attack speed. However, this sword will give you the cursed effect, as long as you are holding it. This effect will kill you instantly if you get any damage. The conjunctivious tentacle can be crafted with sewer calamari and deals 8 attack damage, has 1.2 attack speed, and right-clicking with this item will swing the tentacle, pulling yourself towards the target, dealing 4 damage. You will also deal 6 additional critical damage if you attack during or right after a swing. But you can also use it for your normal movement, because it is basically a really useful grappling hook to climb trees, mountains or buildings. It can even save you from fall damage. The mod also lets you build your own cool elevator. Clear out a 3x3 area of any height, place chains on either side of the created shaft, and make sure they extend at least 2 blocks above where your elevator will stop. Then place the elevator assemblers at the 2 floors you want the elevator to go between. You can add pressure plates for players to call the elevator in case it is on the other floor, and you can activate the elevator by right-clicking and destroy it with an axe or by breaking the chains. The cell crafter also lets you craft a few more items. The conjunctivious and concierge respawn runes, which let you respawn the bosses to do the boss fight again and to get their boss stem cells multiple times. The cell holder lets you store many monster cells to save space. Health flasks restore 2 HP and remove bleeding and poison. And of course you can craft many super cool flags that can be used as banners or as actual waving flags. Finally, there are a couple of mobs and blocks that are currently only available in creative mode, like kamikazes, scorpions and disgusting worms, as well as the shocker, which will be added to new dungeons in upcoming updates. Also, if there might be a future update and you want to add that update to your existing Minecraft world, you need to remove the dimension folder of mine cells in your .minecraft folder, so the dimension can be generated again with the new content. Also, there's an additional 3D weapons pack for the mod on CurseForge and Modrinth that you can download to change the weapon models into detailed 3D renditions. And this is basically all you need to know about the mod. I recommend installing EMI so you are able to see all of the crafting recipes, especially for the cell crafter. Link is in the description. Also, this mod is amazing with shaders, as you can use a variety of shaders that will completely change the look and feel of the dimensions. The mod is still being worked on, and the developer plans to add many more dungeons and opponents from the original game to the mod. In my opinion, this is one of the best Fabric Minecraft mods out there, and I especially love the way it has created its own identity and style that feels consistent, fresh, but still fits into Minecraft. The mod has an outstanding quality, is balanced and great for anybody playing on Fabric. Anyway, this is it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.